Okay. We are alive. Alrighty. Okay. Let me get my chat up. Okay. We are theoretically grooving. Alright, nice. Good bit rate. Good picture. Alright, we are working on this handsome gentleman once again. I'm going to start smoothing these eyebrows in. We're going to jump out right off where we picked up last time, or other way around. Oh. Salutations, Lord Mudicus. Melody Maple, keeper of animals, protector of the forest, speaker of red pandas, and procurer, creator of music, coder, musician, entertainer. Welcome to the stream. How you doing, Moody? Edutainer is a bit of a stretch. I don't think so. I think it's accurate. You're good just checking out this chest on stream? Is this a chest? This isn't a chest. This is a face. Is my chest on stream? I didn't mean to stream my chest. That's my private business. It's not meant to be shared with the common folk. How you doing, Pimp? Oh, the chest on the game. Oh my. Hello there. I'm assuming the word is bikini? Or something else starting with B? I need a smaller ball than the one I was using, but a bigger one than this one. We'll never know. No. We'll never fully explore the potential answers to that mystery of a question. You like the smile it had in the corner? Yeah, that person knew what they were doing. Well, what's everybody up to? Anybody see that? Well, I'm sure y'all did. That Mario poster. That's something. I've never heard so much conversation about Mario's ass. A lot of people were saying it was too small. I feel like there was too much ass. I feel like there's too much detail in that ass. Toad has teeth. Does Toad have teeth? Gonna be in class during the trailer direct tomorrow? Is that tomorrow? I thought it was supposed to be today. And then it wasn't. So I thought maybe I just had no idea what I was talking about. So it's tomorrow. God, I'm actually... That gave me a spike of anxiety. I've been kind of just pretending for quite a while now that was never going to actually happen, that we weren't going to have to witness that trailer, and now it's here, and it's like the opposite of Christmas. Tomorrow at 1:05, like in the afternoon, I may be able to stop working long enough. If you zoom in on Captain Toad, he seems to have teeth. I suppose that's not necessarily a deal breaker. It's a choice. Like, I could see why you kind of need it for expressiveness. I'm trying to be optimistic about this, but it's just so hard. PM, okay. I'll try to watch it. Things have been busy in UE workland, but... And to be fair, why would I be in class at 3:05 a.m.? Hey, I don't know what your schedule's like. Maybe it's a special class. One of those classes after dark, where they teach you about the ways of the world. About life. I don't make any prejudgments, Moody. I go with my gut. As long as they don't retract, I'm okay with it. It'll be a combination of toad and toothless. Also known as mushroom horticulture. Indeed. A class that can only be fully executed at night. But as we all know, I'm kingdomist and extremely anti-mushroom. DK? Donkey Kong? He's the leader of the monkeys. Who's playing DK again? Mario's face leaked already too. I did see that. I saw that image. It was odd. Not like... Not terrible. I wasn't excited. That's really all I can say accurately. My mother always said if I don't have anything nice to say, not to say anything at all, so I take the fifth. DK's teeth retract? Don't say something like that. Don't tell me that's true. How could you possibly know that? I need to bring this up higher. Excuse the temporary groin shot. It's Mario with dumpling head. Yeah, it is kind of dumpling-y, isn't it? It's true in Mario Party Superstars? I did not realize there was established canon for Donkey Kong having retractable teeth. I don't like that information. I could have gone the rest of my life without knowing that, and I think it would have been for the better. Okay, so we've got the risk of retracting teeth on a toad. We've got a dumpling-headed Mario. What else do I have to be afraid of? What other potential hells await me? Jack Black. just in general. Jack Black as Bowser. It's okay, though, because you know Jack Black is going to be doing some fantastic scatting, which we all know Bowser's known for. So, I don't see how that could possibly go wrong. I love Jack Black. Not the first person I would have cast as Bowser. He's never let me down before, but there's a first time for everything. I'm telling you, I stand by my theory. It may not be like actually like it's a film set, but it seems like it's going to be very meta. Hey, Sky, how you doing? What's going on? I mean, that's the only way I could see those casting choices working out. And like I use the phrase working out very loosely. But like the best way I could see that playing out. I posted a video I can check out later about DK. Oh god. Alright, I'll take a look at that later for better or for worse. Getting ready for bed, you are what your name says. Sleepy Sky Kitty. Well, that's good. You've chosen your name correctly. It may only work at certain times of the day, but it's worth it. It's worth it for those times, Sky. So I know I had potentially talked about doing a scavenger hunt on Friday on the server, but I think I might actually save that for when we get back. And we're going to play some Breath of the Wild on Friday. Thinking about taking a crack at Master Mode. It's me, Mario. Sorry about that. Name's Mario, kid. God, I would hope it's not like that. But I don't really know what we're expecting from Chris Pratt as Mario. We know that, what's his name? Is it, it's Chris Marinetti? I can't remember what his name is. The guy who's been voicing Mario for ages and ages. Charles Martinet, thank you. I had the initials right. There was a Martin in there somewhere. That was pretty close. Give that a solid 5 out of 10. He's supposed to be the narrator, right? So maybe the actual Mario games are how Mario sees the world, and in reality, he's extremely mentally ill, and we're going to explore the depths of that sickness over the course of this film. We'll learn that most of what he actually sees is a result of his relentless mushroom addiction. And the world around him is actually fairly normal. He could still be Wario or Waluigi, that's true. That's true. I thought I read that he was supposed to be the narrator. I'm a Wario. I think Wario should also be Chris Pratt. Gotta keep it consistent, you know. And who is it? It's Charlie Day as Luigi. It's funny because, like, in a weird kind of way, I understand a lot of their casting choices. Like, as long as you ignore the wrongness of it all, they seem to go with each other. Hey, Corey's here. How you doing? They go with each other in a weird sort of way that makes sense to me. I would not have picked those, but like in a world where Mario is Chris Pratt, I totally see Luigi being Charlie Day. Like I see the parallel there. You understand Keegan-Michael Key, Toad. I'm trying to be optimistic here, and you're really ruining my momentum, Moody. I'd appreciate it if you could work with me here. Actually, I'm going to be honest. Keegan-Michael Key is pretty good with voices. I'm least worried about Keegan-Michael Key. Don't mess with the vibe. Well, and like I said, like Jack Black's never let me down before. But maybe it's not Jack Black that's letting me down. Maybe it's Jack Black's agent that's letting me down. Like, I suspect that Keegan-Michael Key will try to actually do a voice. I don't think we're going to have him walking up and sounding like his Luther, you know, the President Obama anger translator character. I don't think we're going to be getting that voice out of him. Does his voice list contain vocoded nails on a chalkboard? I mean, I don't know if it's that specifically, but I have heard him do some high-pitched stuff. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but look at his IMDb. I feel like there's some stuff in there that he's done that's like really, really voice actory and high-pitched. I swear I've heard that, or seen it rather. My fears are still not assuaged. I doubt that the trailer will call them. No. I just choose to reserve judgment until I know exactly what I'm complaining about. Speaking of vocoding, the soundtrack better include Gangster's Paradise. You can't rip off Sonic like that. They already tried to with the teeth. Also, Rip Coolio. Rip Coolio, indeed. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Can see it, like, all kinds of articles coming out. I'm sure it's just my feed and because of what I, read and look at. But after Coolio's death, like 50%, if not higher, of the posts that I saw were about Weird Al Yankovic, which is a little bit weird. And like I know especially from all of those articles that Coolio ended up being cool with Amish Paradise. But I can't help but think he probably wouldn't have been down with so many of the articles after he died being about Weird Al Yankovic. Or at least might have felt that was a little bit odd. I felt it was a little bit odd. And I'm a huge Weird Al fan. We will reconvene on the Mario trailer. Don't you worry. I'm worried, but I'm also somewhat hopeful that I'll end up being right. It seems like there's a non-zero chance that I could end up being right about how they're going about that movie in some form or another. The media circuit around celebrity deaths has always been weird. You got me there. Weird Al was in town a few weeks ago. Didn't know he was here till an hour before the concert, though. He's a sneaky one. There was a concert here, and I didn't know it was happening. I would have gone if I had. I've heard he's very, very entertaining live. Death and coming of age are both weird and super creepy. This is true. Both very strange and uncomfortable subjects. Just become a vampire. Fix both. Yeah, you can go for a nice 2-for-1 there. I saw somebody who was... I have one more thought on the Mario trailer. I saw somebody who was like making their predictions for the Mario trailer, and my favorite among them was they said Mario will at some point say "It's a me," And it'll either be taken way too lightly or way too seriously. And it's like, at that point, you're not making a prediction. You're just listing all of their options. That's not a prediction. That's hedging your bets. Like, I bet at some point he's going to put on a red hat. I mean, like, yeah, dude. Oh, the wedge-shaped arms are driving me nuts. That's probably bothering me more than anything else. I'm with you 100%. Do not like that. Not one bit. I do not appreciate that, Sam I am. Seems Nintendo is deleting tweets from in-game if you have your @ in the post. What? What? I don't even fully understand what you mean by that. Nintendo is going out there deleting people's tweets? How is that even a thing? I also didn't know you could tweet from in-game. But I don't use Twitter very much, so that's probably at least partially at play. Yeah, which game? That's a good place to start. Splatoon thing, you can draw in game and post it. And they're just deleting it if you have your @ in the post. Just all together. Not if your @'s inappropriate or something like that. Just at all. Alright. Well, that's a choice. It's weird, because normally they're so chill about stuff. You know? I love Nintendo's products, for the most part, but I do not love their business decisions. Oh, sorry. I guess if I put it there, because the spring tends to tilt it back up a little bit, so if I put it there, we might end up pretty much in the right spot. Not too bad. Wonder if it has to do with how they don't let you sign in with Twitter accounts anymore. Oh, that could be. Like, you can't sign in to... Seems like they're distancing themselves from the company a lot. Just from Twitter in general. Why would you want to distance yourself from Twitter? It's a beacon of human progress and mental health. Seems people are also advertising their Discords, but that's okay. Like, they're letting that happen. So that it is Twitter specific. Maybe it's a fear of the muskrat. How long until he's punished by his... And it's being purchased soon, apparently. From everything I've read, it's already purchased, and he's trying to back out of a sale that he already agreed to. And obviously that's all, like, rumors. As of today, he's announced he's buying it again. Golly, that couldn't have anything to do with finding out that he can't back out of the sale, could it? Not just an attempt to save face. Supposedly, yeah. Until his lawyers find him a way to do that weaselly thing he's so good at doing. A promise is a promise, no takebacks. Yeah, well, when that promise is in the form of a contract. Epidemic? Mess. Haven't watched me in a minute. I haven't watched you either. That you're aware of. Who are you? Which mess? Are you Mess? Changer of the names? Sky, I'm doing pretty good. How you doing tonight? Mess. Welcome back, Mess. I was gone for a minute. Then back for like a month and a half, and then gone again, and now I'm back. So, welcome back, Mess. The viewer formerly known as Omega Mess. Right. We've upgraded our adjective. Everyone's changing names out here. No kidding, man. I'm losing track. I don't have a good memory to begin with. It's a problematic situation for me. On my Prince shit. Alright. You get at it. Had a tired B-Day party. It's your birthday? Happy birthday, Sky. Can we ask which birthday? Your life has been insane? I hope insane in a good way. I can sure relate to insane. Plot twist, it was someone else's party. No, it was Sky's party. And they can cry if they want to. It's on Sunday. You're 42. Congrats on 42. Mazel tov. And happy upcoming birthday. Somehow got into videography and I'm on my way to working at my favorite coffee shop. Right on, Mess. GG's, good for you. Are you liking videography? You'll finally learn about life, the universe, and everything. You'll be the answer to life, the universe, and everything. It's a big deal. I hope you're ready, Sky. It's been really fun. It's unpaid, but I'm gonna look damn good. But it's gonna look damn good on a resume. Right on. That's how you do it. That's how you do it, Mess. Good for you. Get it. Once the people's stuff blows up, they said I'll get a cut of the money. Rock and roll. Get that in writing. Sounds tumultuous. Good luck, yes. Sounds like an adventure and a half. Wonder if we'll still even have a society by the time I'd be 42. We'll have some semblance of one. I enjoy video editing and recording. Been recording videos since I was 12, fucking around with a digital camera. I used to have a digital blue. That was my first experience playing around with cameras. I don't think those things even exist anymore. Now that I think about it, it's kind of obvious I'd go on that path. Yeah, that kind of stuff tends to find you. If it's the right place to be, it'll find you. At the risk of being overly pseudo-philosophical. Gordon remembers the first camera of life, unregistered Hypercam 2, where it all began. It's the first common ancestor of all modern cameras. Last common ancestor. You know, no, fuck it. First common ancestor. I used to have a camcorder when I was a kid, recorded too much stuff, and they stopped making the same data format for it used, so that stopped. Ah, the onward march of time. And the perils that it brings. Gotten super spiritual lately, let your freak flag fly. Always had trouble saying that phrase. Hey, props on the spirituality. You do you. I wouldn't classify myself as spiritual, necessarily. I do like me some philosophy. I like questions that don't have answers. They're fun to think about. I'm not so great at remembering the names, but I like the theories and the concepts. More of a concept person than a names and like history of philosophy person. I guess my DSi had a camera. I usually just played around with the audio effects in the sound app. Hey, whatever's fun for you, you know? Whatever's your thing. Sure love plugging in a 3-prong adapter into the camcorder, then that into a coax adapter, and then finally into the CRT. Then you just have to flip 3 switches like you're some kind of a mad scientist, and lick the end of one plug and hold it to the other one. There we go. Liking the way this is going. I may even leave those deeper crease lines all the way up in here. Or maybe I could try and push it in with the hard needle end and then try and level it off a little bit. I'd always set my adapters to channel 4 because everyone at school always used 3 and I didn't want to mess up their connections somehow. Lying low, staying out of the way. I feel that. That's what I try to do. I feel like those really deep hooks under that first eyebrow are kind of nice looking. And from the side, that's really starting to take... Let me tilt it so that it looks a little better. That's starting to take a form that I'm definitely digging. Composite. Indeed. VGA. Adapter. That's a lot? What's a lot? Oh, it's an acronym redeem. Thank you. Composite. Hold on, I'm thinking. I'm gestating. Give me a moment. Let me see. Connections over media peripherals often separate intellectuals that excite. That, or maybe often separate intellectuals, something experience, maybe? Staying low is sometimes wise. That's true. I'm actually very low in my chair right now. So I'm both metaphorically and physically low. Corey, I'm going to have to lock in on that excite. I'm not happy about it, but this is the world we live in. Full of little disappointments. I was off to a really good start there, and then I just kind of lost it. I get a pass? I'll take it. I'll take the pass. A bird break. I can do that if there's a bird. Stand by. Can you hold the pup?
Oh.
A bird has been summoned.
Where's it,
Here, buddy. Come on, Bee. Gotta do a quick one. I don't think he really wants to be out right now. But there he is. There's a Scotty. Bean Boy. Live nude birds. Let's go. Alright, we're gonna put him away. Come on, budgie. All good. Thank you. With blueberry nose bits. The lighting is so harsh on him. Yeah, he was feeling a bit pressured.
He's also grown back his pin feathers. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. His pin feathers are also coming back in. Probably huckleberries at his size. Honestly, even smaller. He's a little guy. He doesn't come out of his cage much. He doesn't like to. He's good for a quick little visit, but for the most part, he stays in his house. He used to. The only reason he would come out before was for Phoebe, and after she departed, he was happy to talk to his mirrors and play with his toys and listen to his radio. It's like he lives in an old folks' home. The Elder Bean. Okay. He needs a new friend? No, he does not. No, he was obsessed with Phoebe. Hey, not cats, how we doing? And he's older now, so bringing a new one into the picture might not go over so well. And then you find yourself in a problem situation. He's very happy and healthy. He goes to the vet regularly, and they tell us that he is a very healthy little bean. It's fun trying to make the acronyms into facts instead of gibberish. China originated mass-produced open sky incendiaries, theatrical explosives. Try to make facts without using a comma. I just set up an MPH randomizer. What is MPH? Neil's lesser-known brother, Michael Patrick Harris. A video game centered on the secondary Sonic character, Miles Tails per hour. The less popular sequel to Hungry Hungry Hippos, Many Practical Hippopotami. Metroid Prime Hunters, I see. No, I'm going with the per hour. I'm sticking with the per hour. Their car changes speed on the highway from 10 to 120 miles per hour every few seconds. That game is called Tails Adventure. True, that game does exist. The Tails is in quotes, Moody, so it doesn't count. Everybody knows that you're supposed to say the Tails part sarcastically, because it's in quotes. Not as randomized as the inevitable medical bill after. But his last name is Prower. Yes, but it's a pun on per hour. I think we both know that I'm stubborn enough to not let this go, and you are the same way. So why don't we just shake hands and call this one a truce? And when I say truce, I mean you're wrong and I'm right. Cool. Glad we agree. So when I played Breath of the Wild on Friday, I mentioned earlier I'm thinking maybe make a call-out post on Twitter.com. Well, that's where all the youths are calling each other out on the internets. Everybody knows Twitter's the hot, bustling forum for the young people of today. On 70 alt accounts, yes, please. Please spam me. Be the most action my Twitter account has ever gotten. I mentioned thinking maybe I'll do Master Mode. Is that like a bad idea? I've poked at it before. Excuse me. The regenerating health is definitely a bitch. It might be a bad idea. I'm decent at Breath of the Wild. Emily, am I good at Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, you do pretty okay.
See? Although I want to work on my parries. I mostly go for flurry rushes rather than parries. And I should parry more. Which would be much more important for Master Mode. Yeah, it might be a bad idea. Might want to prepare some amiibo in that case. I don't have any amiibo. I've never understood buying Happy Meal toys with NFC chips. I want to get one of those things that fakes the NFC tags. And definitely not use it to circumvent your systems, Nintendo. I love your products and your corporate choices. It does slow down the game a lot. It depends on what kind of progress you want to make. It does. Well, I thought I might pick up... I have a save file that I've been using to go for a 100% run that I'm not super far into. Like, at all. I've done, like, I don't know... I've found like maybe 30 shrines, done about a dozen and a half, and I've done Varuda and a couple of side quests. I have the full snow quill. I have a couple of fairy fountains. It's like just getting going. That is in regular mode, not in master mode. So we could just pick up on that, because I'm not very far into it yet. If you have a very legitimate Wii U, you could do a randomizer. You can do randomizer Breath of the Wild? That sounds hazardous. What's randomized? What do they make random about it? Amiibo I like. It's like DLC for games, and the same amiibo can be used in multiple games. I just don't have any room for them. Please ignore his extremely weird mouth posture at the moment. We'll get there. Trust the process. The thing I'm always worried about with Amiibo is that I would purchase them for one game and then not ever have another game that I needed that Amiibo for. I just used the Shulk amiibo that came out in 2015 in Xenoblade 3. And like, what does it get you? Up to you how much you can change. Can be enemy spawns or drops, item locations, prices, NPC items, shrines, even where you teleport to, and loading zones can be randomized. That's bonkers. That seems intense. I mean, I could do it because I'm like a pro gamer or whatever, but ooh, that's a better mouth posture. We're getting there. It was just a skin for his sword, but it's a nice sword. Well, the amiibo aren't like super expensive. I'm mostly just being like a petty shithead about it, but that's kind of what I do. That's my vibe. I guess another thing I'm largely worried about with Amiibo is my my tendency to lose things. Like I would get one of those. Like you said, you got an Amiibo that came out in 2015. Whether you did or didn't say you got it, like when it came out, right? And then it was useful to you again now. I would have no idea where it is. It would have been lost to like a pocket dimension for me by now. And I'd have to buy it again. I'm much better at keeping track of digital things when the game itself is digital. I'd rather the DLC also be digital. Maybe you could download virtual amiibo. You know, it's like a me that you download, and it's helpful in various ways and things. Pretty often in games with amiibo support, you get something specific for that game's amiibo, something nice for that series amiibo, and something general for any amiibo. So like an amiibo, huh? Yeah, but like, you know, like a me rather than an amiibo, which is obviously the term that they adopt when they've evolved past their non-corporeal form. A bow. Yeah, as opposed to a bow, exactly. You can just buy a custom amiibo that lets you swap out which amiibo data is saved on the chip at will. Exactly, yeah, that was the thing I was talking about earlier. I might just get one of those. Which are super, like, legal, right? Also, there was a redeem. Who for what? I should have guessed. Cats. Our sources are reporting that Cats is lurking in the shadows. Or, I'm sorry, not Cats is lurking in the shadows. Potentially with murderous intent. All because of a deep-seated need for affection. When they were ignored by popular Mario Maker creator Cats. Where's my needle point? Needle, needle, needle. Needle, needle. There we go. I think I need to bring the camera down. I wonder if there's a phone app that rips Amiibo data and impersonates them via NFC, so you can just tap your phone to the Switch. I feel like there is such a thing. The one that I saw was just like it was like a combo NFC mag strip and one other kind of proximity data device. It emulated like 3 things. Seems like the Five Nights at Freddy's movie will start filming next year. Didn't they already do that with the... what's his name? Nick Cage? I mean, it wasn't like their brand, but it was 100% Five Nights at Freddy's. That was something else. Yeah, but like, wasn't it though? This is giving, like, Hugh Neutron. Well, hey there, Jimbo. I know the opposite is possible, that you can use Amiibo on other NFC applications to varying degrees of success. Now that's interesting. Like the subway lines in Russia where you could get free rides by scanning any Amiibo. That seems a little fucked up. Which is weird, because normally everything works great in Russia. Very, very out of character for them, for something to be fucked up. Lips are a little too puffy at the moment. Kind of a good opening shape, but too much puff in the lips. Looks like it looks a little bee stung. "23 more days with that name, not Cats. Have you decided on what your new name is going to be? Is there a plan already?" You can't have crumpet. Well, if not crumpet, then what's it going to be? I mean, no better name than crumpet. I feel like the shape of this is actually okay. I just need to soften it, like round out the end a little bit. Ouch. Weird bread rolls tier list. Does crumpet make the top of that tier list? I'm gonna say we put crumpet at the top. What else qualifies as a weird bread roll? I feel like they're all weird in their own way. Scones. Are scones bread rolls? They're like almost a cookie. Biscuits? If we're calling biscuits bread rolls, then our definitions are getting very loose here. Cinnamon rolls are at the very top. I would say cinnamon rolls are definitely bread rolls, given they have roll in the name. I can't argue with that. Are they weird? They're definitely unusual in the bread roll field. Bedroll? That's a different kind of roll. That's made for slumber, not for munching. Breadsticks are up there. Okay, now we're just saying anything that's bread is a roll, which I don't know if I agree with. Very clearly the stick form of bread. Ubi rolls have roll in the name. What M? What about Cheddar Bay biscuits? Fruit roll up. Now things are going completely off the rails. What are Cheddar Bay biscuits? Is a breadstick not a stand-in for a roll? It's a stand-in for a roll, absolutely. But does a stand-in mean it has the same definition? Like, is it also a roll because it stands in for the roll? I'm not sure one way or the other. Cheddar Bay biscuits are the rolls at Red Lobster. Okay, I feel like those walk a sort of central dividing line between biscuits and rolls. Remember, this is weird rolls. Yes, but for it to be a weird roll, it still has to be a roll, right? Like, I could say weird rolls, and I'm like, you know what's a super weird roll? Donuts. Like, I don't think anybody would agree that donuts are a type of roll. Are donuts a type of roll in this world? Take any biscuit, add Old Bay, cheddar, ta-da. They're so weird they got a hole in them. We don't even agree on why. Oh, and garlic sauce. Yes, also garlic sauce. Is there a debate as to why we hold the donut? HOLED, not HOLD. We hold the donut because we want to munch it. We know that one. Donuts have a whole... Donuts are Tory. Tory don't have holes. My brain hurts. What? What is a Tory? Is it some sort of holeless donut? A whole donut, one might say, with a W. The hole is for the breadstick. No, pimp, no. You can't, that's a bastardization. We aren't performing bread romance here. I don't want to know what offspring will be created in that process. I'd say a weird roll is a bread that isn't a roll, but isn't a whole loaf, and isn't considered a cake or a cookie. But then... Well, that would mean all biscuits. And different countries can't even agree on what a biscuit is. England thinks biscuits are cookies. How about cinnamon rolls? We addressed cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon rolls are definitely rolls. They're a kind of sweet roll. His mouth is off center, isn't it? Not like horrendously so, but definitely noticeably so. I do like that kind of expression that he has, because he's supposed to be like taken aback. Like the posture he's in is like he was surprised and turned his body. So like I'm mostly happy with the mouth position, or with the mouth posture. It's definitely getting there. But the actual positioning of it, I'm not certain about. Rolls are just small loaves, and a cinnamon roll isn't a small loaf. I would say it's a small loaf. I would say a roll is a bread loaf for one. And a cinnamon roll is for one if you're confident enough. You weren't paying attention? That's no excuse, not cats. That's no excuse. I mean, right? Do we agree with my definition of a roll being a loaf for one? I guess his mouth is centered. It's not bad. It's a little bit off to the side, but so is the expression. Like in a way that's not wrong necessarily. I think I just need to like hollow some of this out over here, which I might need to use something a little hookier to do. Grocery store cinnamon rolls and biscuits are one long tube of dough, a loaf, possibly a loaf, cut into pieces. But they're not. They're not cut into pieces. They are, well, I guess they probably were cut into pieces. I was going to say that they're already separate, which means they're not cut into pieces, and that's not what that means at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll that one back. Roll that one back, huh? Ba-doom. No, you got a point there. You're breaking apart my entire logic. A cinnamon roll has the wrong form to be a roll. Like back to the donut, is it a normal roll just because it's portioned for one? No, but it is called a roll. I feel like that counts for something. And sweet rolls are a thing. And I would say that it's a kind of sweet roll. It just happens to be produced in a spiral format. It's kind of round and fluffy and kind of like, you know, it's a ball shape that's flattened on the bottom. It's made out of bread. I guess that leads us back to biscuits. I guess under the definition I gave you, biscuits count as rolls, if I'm being honest. Croissants are too unique to be rolls. Croissants are definitely rolls. They're like breadsticks, roll stand-ins in other cuisines. Maybe I need to dial back my my statements, because I feel like croissants are definitely rolls. I was going to mention them earlier, but I decided not to because I thought they weren't weird enough. I thought they were obviously rolls. Like, would you consider a burger bun to be a roll? Croissants are basically small strudels with no filling. They have too many thin layers. I hear the flaky argument. That's a good point. But biscuits can be flaky. They can be layery. In fact, they often are if made correctly. I feel like we're zeroing in on a roll definition. Exactly, so biscuits and croissants both aren't rolls. Okay. Alright, so, okay. Alright. So we're getting closer to a definition. So, rolls are solid, contiguous... You're being ignored. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. Rotund orangutans looking lost. Rolls only live once. We answer the big questions of the culinary world here at Unenlightened. Really odd looking lady. Alright, so back to the task at hand here. Please never bring up snack cakes in this community. Look what you've done. You've gone and done it now, haven't you, Moody? No, we're staying focused. We're staying on the current roll. So I'm going to say rolls are individually portioned, dense, contiguous bread products with either sweet or savory flavor. To be served with simple dressing like butter. Looking lost, Corey. Looking lost. To be served with simple season or a condiment or dressing, such as like butter or Maybe honey. Yeast rolls are light and airy, but are they contiguous? I guess okay, we'll ditch dense. We'll take dense out of the description. You're welcome, Corey. Thank you. You're doing the Lord's work. Or perhaps something more useful. You think our definitions of rolls are getting worse as time moves on? I think we're getting a little too specific. He's too puckered. Is gum tape a roll? Is mayonnaise an instrument? Bubble tape is a roll. Well, it's rolled. It's a roll in the way any tape is a roll. We're talking about bread rolls here today. Is there a name for this category of breads somewhere between rolls and pastries? I feel like it would end up just falling into the general pastry category. From that angle, it actually looks okay. It doesn't seem too puckered. And maybe it could look less puckered if I add more material right in here, which is going to be no small task, but possibly doable. Well, Corey, if you're gonna ditch our roll or diss our roll definition, what do you propose? I want you to bring me solutions, not just problems. That's too much booger. I need less booger. About half as much. I do agree that we've maybe fallen into a realm that's too specific. So is a breadstick just a roll then? It's definitely not a pastry. Yeah, it's definitely not a pastry. You're right about that. I don't know. Is it just a bread product? Doesn't feel like a satisfying conclusion here. But then, are we saying that loaf is a category like roll or pastry? Because I feel like loaf is more an arrangement, like a shape. My reasoning being, it's a bread product, right? But like, what category would you say a loaf of bread is? Is it just like the loaf is the category? Has this truly been about bread shape all along? If so, does that alter our base definition? Do we need to ignore some of our defining characteristics if it's truly just about shape? According to Wikipedia, a biscuit is in the category quick bread. Can you be a roll if you believe in yourself, cats? Yes, you can. But don't put yourself in the oven. That would be dangerous. Not recommended. Quick bread. There's a category I haven't heard before. And if I haven't heard of it, it's not real. As I am the knower of all things. Can cats be a roll? For sure. Alright, there you go. There you go. 8-Ball is in favor of your journey to be a roll. Congratulations, cats. It's a roll. I am really liking how this is turning out. I'm taking back my thought about biscuits being a loaf cut into pieces. Okay, alright. On what grounds? I'm going to need an explanation for your reasoning. Explanation of your reasoning? Okay, this is meaningless to us. Quick breads are a type of bread chemically leavened? Instead of using yeast or sourdough. It's far too broad. That's extremely broad. Yeah, that's not gonna work for our purposes. Good research, though. Good research. We'll find it. If it's a product of, it's just a byproduct of manufacturing method. It's no different from a scoop. It would only be a piece, a slice, if it were cut after being baked. I accept those terms. That makes sense to me. I buy that. Yeah, so for it to be a loaf, it needs to be baked in that form. Accepted. The Wikipedia picture of biscuits is just a photo from Cracker Barrel. The original biscuit. There were no biscuits before the great, all-powerful Cracker Barrel. So roll is an unsliced, single-serve bread made of dough. I feel like if it's a bread, it's made of dough, right? There aren't non-dough breads. Bread loaf is single serving if you're up to the challenge. Okay, let's add a slight addendum. There are batter breads. Oh right, those are different things. Fair. Okay. Recanted. A donut is sliced in the middle. No. A, not before cooking, like Corey just said. And B, I would argue that a slice does not alter the topology of one in the process of creating two separate pieces. If it creates a through hole, it's not a slice. In other words. Because we can't have holes and slices being the same thing. The result of a slice must be two separate pieces with the same number of through holes as the original piece. Well, I guess not necessarily, right? Because then if you were to slice off a piece of a donut that did not include the original hole, then one slice would still have the hole and the other slice... Okay, so I'm zeroing in on what that means, but I'm not quite sure. Follow-up. Cinnamon rolls and other sweet rolls are slices of dough, and the filling is rolled up in pretty ways. But again, not before it's baked. Right? How you create the roll, whether it's mashed together into a ball or twisted up in a pretty fashion, does that make it not a roll? Pimp, I request an explanation for eating an entire loaf of bread alone. I'm going to say that qualifies as an unintended strat. I'd say so because it's not a single bread, it's multiple. You mean because a cinnamon roll is not necessarily, or generally not, made out of just one piece that's rolled up on itself, but instead several pieces. Am I understanding your meaning? I've also eaten entire loaves of bread with butter before. Whole Foods makes a damn good bread. Well, capacity to eat unholy amounts aside, I also have the big boy's appetite. But does that mean we're right? Or does that mean we're extreme? Like, should you use the outliers as the basis for your definition? I say no. I think a bread is formed from the cooking process. So, Corey, am I right in saying that you would lean towards saying a cinnamon roll counts as a roll? Because they're all cooked together as a single unit, they are in fact a roll? Okay. Alright. Alright. That would be my feeling also. I feel like because they're all cooked together in that same little lump. Same thing as how pastries are pastries because they're made of delicate bread segments woven into various unique forms. But I think if we're saying biscuits are, then we can say that things like croissants are, which would then extend to cinnamon rolls. I concede biscuits, although a part of me internally disagrees. I concede biscuits. So now cinnamon rolls are pastries and biscuits are rolls. What's a pancake? Delicious. A pancake is its own beast. Yeah, correct indeed. Yeah, I'm gonna have to side with Corey on that one. A pancake is delicious. Too much still. Along with crepes. Yes. And made out of batter. Right. Yes. Both batter products. Wasn't it said that some breads are made out of batter? Yes, but I think we were landing on dough-based breads being the a requirement for roll status. The cornbread is technically cooked the same way as pancakes and crepes, if you're doing it right. Cornbread is cooked in a pan? But is cornbread a batter or a dough? I've never made cornbread. I don't actually know. Oh my god. Rotate, you bitch. Alright, fine. Let's try that again. No, get out of the mouth. No. No. No, get out of there. Okay. It's a batter bread, so I'm reevaluating. But also you slice it. Yes. But you can make individual cornbreads, like in a cupcake tin, which is pretty dope if you've never done that before. Those are delicious. Unless it's a corn muffin. I guess that is a corn muffin, huh? That is what it is. But then those are muffins, right? Because batter, muffin tin. Which brings it back to Cracker Barrel. This is a tough one. We have to keep thinking. Allow me to introduce you to the novelty-shaped cast-iron cornbread pan. You're telling me this gets worse? I think we've fallen off track here. Where's my needle tip? Although, on the other hand, maybe we're right where we need to be. Posted one in pics. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see this. Okay, this is what we're looking at here. See, I would be inclined to call those rolls. And it's kind of like a feel it in your heart thing, you know, like the heart disease that would result from it. Cross section of a clementine, I feel like. I feel like there's a bit of a you know it when you see it element here, which is not a satisfying definition. But I feel like it needs to be said. Like, I would be inclined to call those individual cornbreads rolls. You have black-fleshed clementines. I would really appreciate it if you didn't judge. That mouth shape is looking a lot better to me. It's really getting there. That's a malformed corn muffin And corn muffins definitely feel like rolls despite being batter. Of course, it's silly to try and make a definition of roll that has every roll and no non-rolls. Fool's errand. But here we do tomfoolery here. Exactly. The goal here is to search for a truth that doesn't exist. As I said earlier in the stream, I like trying to answer unanswerable questions. And then that's what we've spent the rest of the stream doing. So I'm happy. We are a court of fools, indeed. If ever there were a clean definition for the lot of us. So is a bun a roll that has been cut after baking? I would say yes. Oh yeah, Corey's on the same page. Yeah, I was asking about that earlier. Is a burger bun a roll? And I feel like the answer is yes. Is a hot cross bun and a honey bun therefore not a bun? I would argue that a bun is a subset of roll. Like, I would say bun is... I feel like it's a pastry if it's a sweet... Is confection the word I'm looking for? I think I'm looking for the word confection. If it's a personal-sized sweet confection, that is not a roll. Or maybe pastry is a catch-all term, and we've got a Venn diagram situation. They seem like pastries. You might be right. This is tough. We've put ourselves in a difficult predicament here. Now I've been holding onto this one for this moment. King's Sweet Hawaiian Rolls. Definitely rolls. When I've been saying I think sweet rolls count. Unquestionably a roll, I've been thinking about it the whole time. I've been saying I think sweet rolls count. I wasn't thinking of Hawaiian rolls specifically. But I would say that they're undoubtedly a type of sweet roll, given the packaging. I would say yes. Definitely King Sweets count. Which I don't think breaks our logic too much. Sure do be sweet, though, yes. But I think it's not necessarily... I think a sweet roll is both a roll and a pastry. Like, it doesn't have to not be a pastry in order for it to be a roll. You know what I'm saying? Or other way around. In order to be a pastry, it doesn't have to not be a roll. Granted, I don't think I would say that a king's suite counts as a pastry. We only deal in absolutes here. I'm no Sith, my friend. Then why did you call the younglings from Minecraft? There. Oh, that got me. He was the chosen one. Because sometimes the what is it? The hardest choices require the strongest wills. Another part I'm not looking forward to on this guy is giving him hands. I don't think that's going to be a very fun part of the process. It'll be better than drawing them. Is Minecraft bread a roll? Yes. I would say definitely. The picture doesn't look like one. I would say it looks more like a small baguette. But I would say it's intended to be one. I like that when Anakin does that and the small kid steps back, it wasn't planned, the kid was actually scared. Yeah, I heard that Hayden Christensen shouted boo, which was kind of hilarious. And means he was perfectly cast because he got joy out of scaring a small child. Sounds like he was the man for the job. I saw in a post today that he was apparently heavily involved in his character's reference work for the Revenge of the Sith video game. Because in the words of the people I was watching in the TikTok, he was both very passionate about his character and an avid gamer. And was supposedly straight up just saying to them, I think his idle pose should be like this. Which has got to be kind of awesome from their end to get that much help. But it might also feel like kind of an overstep, It's hard to tell sometimes how things feel when you're, actually in that position. They might be in those interviews yeah, no, he was telling us what his idle position would be. It was great. It was like he was trying to do our job for us, Maybe it wasn't all that great. Who knows? But it seems like Hayden's a nice guy. I feel like he wouldn't be, super controlling about it. With everything I know about him personally. We're close, We go way back. I first got to know him when I was watching the original trilogy, or the prequel trilogy. And I feel like I know him as a brother. Yeah, no, Oz was telling us what cinnamon rolls are like it was his job. We loved it and agreed completely. Good, good, good. See, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for compliance. What you think in your own time is your business. Unless it disagrees with what I think in my own time. That's called a thought crime. I'm out of focus again. I feel like this one needs to kind of... How do you muffins? And that's a complicated question. How do you muffins? With a MacGuffin. The all-powerful muffin MacGuffin. It's tough to find, but once we and our legion of ne'er-do-well misfits come together and travel a great distance to locate it, we'll be able to do the thing that concludes the plot. I make cupcakes and don't ice them, then pretend it's healthy. I'm pretty sure that's the textbook definition of a muffin. There's a Jim Gaffigan joke like that. He says a muffin is a bald cupcake. Wait, I typoed? I don't think so. I think we got the question that we needed in our hearts at that time. You're welcome to try again. How do you eat muffins? With gusto. Relentlessly. How do I not eat muffins? Bread versus rolls. Sky, I'm going to need a follow-up to that. Like a cupcake without icing. Sky, I'm sorry, but I'm going to need more information there. Bread versus rolls, like in a fight to the death. Oh, it's an acronym redeem. God damn it. Why do I always miss that one? I catch the other ones. That's a long one. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Better realms ever advancing. Don't veer south. Raunchy orcs leaving left side. Raunchy orcs lace left side. There you go. Better realms ever advancing. Don't veer south. Raunchy orcs lacing left side. It's 1 o'clock here, not feeling up to the challenge of that acronym right now. Fair enough, Moody. Fair enough. feel like with this big high crease like this, I probably need to raise the top left, his left corner of the mouth just a bit more. And not cats, you start with the paper. What part do you start with on a muffin? Does it even matter on a muffin? It's all the same. I just throw the whole thing in my mouth at once without peeling the paper off, but just toss it in there. Throw my head back, open my mouth like a hatch on a submarine. Just gulp the whole thing down like an anaconda. Maybe this is what was missing. I eat the mushroom stem first, then after that I eat the cap upside down. There are elitists who believe you should eat the bottom first and that it is inferior to the top. It seems you've come across one, Moody. Personally, as an extremely difficult centrist, I would say it's elitist to pick a side in the muffin whatsoever. Say hi to Emily. Hi, Emily.
Hello.
She says hello. I like that lip curl. I think it's working. At least we're starting to get it figured out. It looks awful from this side. Better rolls eaten at dawn versus supper regarding olive-laden loaves. I like it. I feel like at this point I definitely no longer need this crease here. Like we can bring these together, or at least soften the end here. The bottom is clearly designed to be the handle, with its wrapper keeping your hands clean. There's no reason to unwrap it and eat the bottom just to get sticky hands holding the top. I will say that's a good argument. I choose not to take sides in this battle of wrappers. In this wrap battle, if you will. But the bottom isn't as good. I don't want it to be around to hinder the top. I see. So the argument here is in fact that the bottom is superior, or that the top is superior, and so the bottom should be removed first in order to better savor the top. It's more a different philosophy on the muffin, rather than a different quality by section hierarchy. It's the same muffin. And Pimp is right in the case of a cupcake. What did Pimp say? The correct way is to cut off the top and flip it over to make a sandwich. I've seen that done many times. I've never had the will nor passion to do so myself. Again, snake hatch. You can achieve the exact same effect if the entire pupcake? if the entire cupcake goes into your mouth at once. Don't worry, Lola, I'm not going to eat you. I think she's worried. I missed a question from Sky. I did? Thank you. May you ask where I'm going? For vacation? If that's what you mean, we're going to New York. I've only been once while I was touring for colleges, which means I didn't really have that much time to enjoy the city, and a lot of stuff was closed. So Emily and I are going on our first ever vacation together. That is not like a trip to see family in some capacity. Thank you, Moody. I do have family on the East Coast, but we will not be seeing them. We're all showing up to crash it. You'll have to find us first. We'll be in a very little known section of the city that some call Manhattan. It's super underground. Excuse me. How many people could there be in New York? Exactly. I mean, it's practically empty there. There's definitely more sneeze coming. Any Cracker Barrels in Manhattan? That's true. We could turn this into a research venture. I'm sure Emily would love that. Please pardon my nose trumpet. Badly reading everyone and dreading vexing silly rude online lazy lookers. I like that one, Pimp. It's fun to say. I feel like this looks better from both sides now. Let me push him back and get the focus on him. Honestly, that's not bad. I do like it. I think it needs a more defined lip, but that's pretty damn good. Not a real C, can't say Gesundheit. Sorry, Corey. There was one earlier if you want to go for a delayed Gesundheit, but I know it's not the same. The past is the past. It's been too long now. It just won't be the same. All about the future. I gotta respect that. Always looking forward, you know? It's all about visualizing. Have you read The Secret? I'm selling copies of that book on my website. Right after... it's right next to the Mary Kay section. Yeah, I manifest. I don't know if anybody here watches Folding Ideas. If not, it seems like somebody a lot of you would be interested in. I recommend checking him out. He just posted a video on the... who are those fucking idiots? Those twins that are selling, like, audiobook scams. Like, Audible audiobook scams. They have a lot of conversation about manifesting. Visualize. Believe. 'Cause that's all you need to do is believe. Nantucket Boys or whatever, yeah. It was 269 square feet, but had a functional fireplace. The 2019 Cracker Barrel. Functional fireplace is pretty legit, honestly. That's a nice deal. Somebody help me. What's wrong with this bottom lip? Is it that it needs to curl down more? Is that what it is? If I curl it down, will it look better? It's a very kissy face that way. It's actually really cute. I posted a pic of it. Give me just 1 second. I will look. That's the problem with the lip, right? It looks better now that it curled down a little bit. And he is puckering a little bit, so I need to get over the fact that it looks really puckery, because that's actually what's happening. So I need to get over it. Dream boards, vision boards. Vision boards are good for you, but not for the reason of magical manifesting. It's a that was a secret. Your sculpture is rhino lipping. Is that good or bad? This is darling. This is an adorable little Cracker Barrel. I'm assuming that's the only table. It must be. It's definitely the only table. The antique signage looks less racist than I'm used to. Yeah, it's the New York Cracker Barrel. Is rhino lipping good or bad, and what does that mean? It looks really good from this angle. What I need to do now is I need to take my smallest possible little hooker guy here and cut in a tooth notch. Be careful in New York. We will be very careful, Sky. Thank you. The founder died in 2012, so they were allowed to buy new signs. Oh, that's nice. So are Cracker Barrels the world over less racist now? Well, I guess probably not the world over, but the Cracker Barrels in places where people are less racist are probably less racist. Turn it in. Please give me a moment. I must say goodnight. Not to you. I'll be back. Please stand by. Okay, I am back. Alrighty. I say rhino lipping because it's like donkey lipping but more fun. Rhinos have control of their lips in a way that's very similar to elephants' trunks, so it can protrude out in weird ways and grab hold of things. I buy it. I'm with it. I can't disagree with you. I'm honestly really happy with this face. Like, the detail in it is looking better than I was initially expecting. Fries? Did you get it right, Sky? Ooh, has anybody been watching The Patient? Em and I have, and I am digging it. It's very fun. I don't know if you have Hulu or not, but if you do... No? Is that Joseph Stalin? No. Not anywhere near as successful. Oh, on the guessing game. I mean, isn't it though? Not Stalin. Try Luigi. I saw the Stalinness of it, but I also saw Luigi. Okay, so this we need to try and cut in without damaging what we already have. Oh, I played Rocket League again the other night before going to bed. Definitely not a game I should play before going to bed, given my temper problem. But I actually did a lot better. I was very proud of myself. Kept my mind regulated. Compromise and get Mussolini. I'm pretty sure that was like his bumper sticker campaign. Quote, the Josh won 5 or 6. I think it's 5. I hope Josh grew to forgive me one day. Compromise is indeed how you end up with a Mussolini in your country. Yeah, sure enough. Oh, no. I really want to know what the context of that was, mostly because there are a lot of reasons I could have been saying fuck China. So I'm kind of hard-pressed to remember what the actual reason was. Josh showed up once. Do you think I'm in the clear? I hope so. That's true. They did return. I know I was going to have Wendy's TM for lunch tomorrow, but all this talk is making me think I'll go for Cracker Barrel. Ooh. Does sound pretty good. I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch tomorrow, or if I'm going to have lunch tomorrow. I tend to be pretty bad about that. I should have lunch, but I often don't. I'm flattening all this extra mass from what I'm tearing down in the roof of the mouth and just kind of squishing it into the tongue, and I feel like it's actually making the tongue look better. Cracker Barrel kind of glue up. In 2009, they had a mediocre entrees for $9. Now they have mediocre entrees for $9. Sorry, I should have read that better. They used to have mediocre entrees for $9. Now they have mediocre entrees for $9. There you go. That was a more accurate reading. Their chicken and dumplings is really good too. Cracker Barrel has great mac and cheese. Yes, I agree with both of those. I don't have Cracker Barrel very often, but when I do, it is sure a treat. Surely? It is surely a treat. I'm gonna need teeth, but I think I need him to firm up before I can add teeth. Okay, there we go. And once again, I need to soften this shape. Alright, what do we got up top here? Obvious slingshot. Definitely a slingshot. Maybe a wishbone. I'm with you on turkey. Slingshot. Nice. Also, hot tip, if you get biscuits instead of cornbread, ask for the butter pecan sauce instead of jelly or honey. Ooh. That sounds pretty bomb. Are we adding a new sponsor? Maybe. Middle-aged. Try teenager. Bald. Either scratch or fleas, maybe. I see printer. Bald. Either scratch or fleas. I see printer. Striped t-shirt. My success is waning. I tried, pimp. Okay, we're going to move to a different part of the body. The head is actually getting pretty close here. I'm going to need to add hair on him. And we'll need to do eyeballs, but I'm not feeling like doing that right now. That's a whole task to jump into, so we're going to work on some of these necklines that I have here, because like this one on the back has never been smoothed out since it was added. And I have almost like an inconsistent amount of like muscle and definition on him. Because I'm sure I mentioned it already, but like he's supposed to have a kind of ambiguous age. You can buy a slice of an apple streusel pie for $4.29 or an entire pie for $12.49. I mean, I feel like the solution there is pretty straightforward. You get the pie. That's like a whole half of a pie for free. That's how they get you, Moody. That's how they get you. But sometimes it's good to be got. Good thing I don't like apple pie. That's tragic, honestly. Who hurt you? America. Oh, sorry. I'm actually partial to banana cream pie. It's really tasty. Made that for your birthday? Banana cream pie? Right on. Sounds pretty damn good. I hope you enjoyed that banana cream pie. How long ago was this birthday, Pimp? Do I owe you a happy birthday? Did I already wish you a happy birthday and I don't remember? Both of these things are possible. You like key lime pie. I've had that like once or twice. It's pretty good. It's not my favorite, but it's pretty good. Wasn't too bad? Right on. Right on, right on. That's what you're going for. Key lime is S tier and with the graham cracker crust. It was last month, the 9th. Okay. Did I wish you a happy birthday then? We talked about it then. Oh, it was your birthday stream. We rated you. I did remember. Well, somebody reminded me. But I did something. I can half check the box of being an acceptable human being. That's a new record for me. Butterscotch cinnamon pie is also incredible, though, but it's a lot of work to make, and no one sells it, so it's pretty rare to eat. That sounds really good, but I don't think I've had that one before. Jesus. I don't know if I'm allergic to an oil or something in this clay, but when I start taking off large amounts of it, I start sneezing. Congratulations, Corey. I'm allergic to chat. That's it. Y'all are just putting me over the edge. Scrumptious. That's that ASMR you were looking for. Deep ear nose blowing. Allergen warning. I would be sick of us too. Good, I'm glad you understand. This is working. This is working. Gonna need to start thinking about clothing soon. I know more or less what I want his outfit to look like. It's this, like, ill-fitting suit. I guess you've seen it before, huh? Because I've drawn him on stream. Pimp, I thought you wrote pun there, and I was like, how did somebody draw a pun? Covered head to toe so no one sees all the detail you made, but you know it's there. Well, fortunately, I'm planning on opening up the top of the shirt a little bit, and all this neck detail will be here. This is all going to get lost, all this fat and the belly and everything, and the glorious crotch knot, that's going to be lost. But it helps with the way the clothes lay. It'll be useful. World building be like. Sure enough. It was important to figure him out. Well, and that's, I'm force myself to spend more time on the face detail than the body, or as opposed to the body, but I go where my heart takes me. I mean, shouldn't you, Moody? Shouldn't you? Oh, Botman's almost up and running again, speaking of which. I need to transfer the up-to-date quotes over to the list. The spreadsheet is woefully behind. Yes, I will have to do it manually, but that's okay. $269. That is hopefully going to be a feature of Botman soon. Probably not at relaunch here, but I have found the code that I need in order to make him able to maintain a spreadsheet for us, so that is no longer on Moody's already overburdened shoulders. Well, to be fair, for most of those 2 years I was gone. I did actually find the code that I needed, and I have the Google Sheets side of it set up. I am testing the Botman side of it with currently limited success, but also limited attempts. I was mostly cleaning up the existing features. But I'm hoping to bring him back, if not the week I come back, then the following week. And you can remind me of that and hold me to it. Because the fact of the matter is I could fire him up right now and he would work. But I want to try and get that Google Sheets feature working first. And I'm essentially planning on trying to use, you know how he had that, like, Tamagotchi thing going on? I'm trying to... That was back when he was a Python script, and I never rebuilt it into the C# version. But I'm going to be using... I still think about Everbone from time to time. I'm still poking around at it. There are some things about it that I don't want to deal with that kind of slow me down when I'm more interested in the actual, like, storytelling part of it that I'd been thinking about. It's only 24 behind. That's not bad at all, honestly. But the character personality scripting, I'm basically going to test in Botman. So I have some thoughts as to how to make the characters feel like they remember you. And I'm going to work that into Batman. I have some of the memory files set up already, and it knows how to read and write to them, and it has some of the skeleton of that, but that's in progress. I'm back to working on a lot of stuff again. It's nice to be grooving. Working on Megalomania, working on Everbound, and working on the prosthetics. And I'm gonna try and just kind of focus on those three things. We're missing another one, 246. How did we end up missing another quote? But yeah, I've kind of weaseled Botman into that trio by saying that Botman is a test of the Everbound NPC scripting. So, already lying to myself, which is promising. Yeah, he's working right now, actually. As a matter of fact. I should run 0.1 because 0.2 has some new changes that aren't running yet. But I actually version upped because I'm adding that stuff in. Where do you live? Okay, wait, here we go. Still booting. That script, or that class isn't in there. Okay, good, so this is the right version. Behold, Botman lives. Feed is no longer with us. Feed was part of the Tamagotchi script that was in the Python version. But it's doing everything that everything that Stream Elements does, plus a quote search function. You can even search for Moody. I apologize for this, but like quote Josh So if there's only one, it'll return the one that has that in it. But if you do quote baby, it'll tell you all of the quotes that have baby in it. What I'd like to do is have it whisper all of those quotes to you individually, but it doesn't do that right now. Oh, 8-ball's supposed to be in there. Let me see. Has a bunch of say commands. Oh, 8-ball isn't in there. Okay, well that's like 5 seconds. I'll throw that in there before I make it live again. Alright. We're putting you back to sleep, Botman. It actually has a functional window. This is a huge upgrade on the Python one on my end. I have, here, look at, I can show you. I have like a functional window with connect and disconnect buttons, a status window, and a full-on log. It's really nice. That compared to everything was text-based, obviously, in the Python version. I didn't use any of, like, I don't remember what the Python architectures are for having actual usable UI and windows and shit. But he is working again. So yeah, I guess I need to add 8-ball. But we might spend a stream taking a look at him and making sure everything's working. But I've been doing that in my downtime. I don't have C# or Visual Studio on my laptop, which I probably should. It's a Mac, but I'm probably going to just partition it because I don't use it for anything else anymore. I used to have other uses for it. I don't really. Hey, don't relaunch yourself. Go away. All done. Alright. Thank you, Moody. I'll make sure to pull that down to Botman. And if I can get a version working that actually has the Google Sheet functionality, then I'm probably going to actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Package that? Whatever the coding term for export is, into an actual program. So that that's actually running. I know that looks a little dinosaur spiny, but I kind of like it. Will it include a feature to fill in gaps? Yes, because there's a quote update function, so you'll be able to just update the empty quote. And I believe that's already in there. Let me see. I don't want to show the script because it has my or no, it doesn't have my authorization tokens hard-coded anymore. Those are in a JSON file that's attached to it. Attached. But still, just in case I accidentally left something in here, I don't want to put it on the screen. Quote commands. We've got call. Oh, here we go. Say commands, quote commands. There we go. We've got add, remove, edit. Yeah, there it is. Quote edit. And it'll pull... Yeah, you just pull a specific key, which would be the quote number, and then you can type a replacement quote. And I think the syntax for that is quote, edit, space, pound sign, then the quote number, then space, and then the replacement quote. So yes, you'll be able to fill gaps. And the spreadsheet will... Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that, Mansurvik. Hope you're having a good evening, or morning, or whatever time it is for you. But yeah, so you'll be able to edit quotes, you'll be able to fix the gaps, you'll have that search function by keyword. I'm doing pretty good. Happy with my little dude here. Happy with my bit of code we were just talking about, which is my custom chatbot. That has been a long working project. Anybody here will tell you he's been dead for probably close to a year now, but I'm digging him out of the grave. Bringing him back to life. He's basically Jesus. Halloween or casual sculpting? Casual sculpting. This is a character of my own invention. His name is Tucker. He's an odd dude. He doesn't have any eyeballs right now, but don't ignore that, or don't focus on that. He's very self-conscious about it. Odd is good. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more, Mance. Man? Should I call you Man or Mance? Or Vic? We do some sculpting here. We do some drawing and digital painting, which I haven't done much of lately, but I'm sure I'll go back to pretty soon. And on Fridays, we play video games with my girlfriend Emily. Pronunciation don't matter? Alright. I'm gonna stick with Vic. I like Vic. Why don't you be like anything but Vic? That'll seal your fate. I'm forgetting my other co-host. Oh yeah, that's true. Lola's also here. I should have gone to bed already, but I had a duty to finish the list. Thank you, Moody. Enjoy your evening. Get some sleep. Have fun in class tomorrow. If I don't get to see the Mario trailer, let me know what you think. Everybody do that. Can't wait to see the discussion about it. You're a huge clay art fan. Well, welcome. Me too. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out, Moody. See you on Friday for some Breath of the Wild. Well, if you're a huge clay art fan, this, as I'm sure you will recognize, is Monster Clay, which is an awesome medium. My favorite clay that I have ever worked with. You'll post it on Discord so I can find it as easy as soon as you can. Thank you, Pip. I appreciate that. Do I still have Bowser on hand? He is not in a box. He is on top of my TV stand here. Sit tight, Vic. Let me see if I can pull this back a little bit more. We're getting close to a wind down tonight, but just to show you one of my finished projects. He's a half dry Bowser, half moist Bowser. He's a little dusty, but still looking pretty good. There we go. There's a guy. So we're dry Bowser over here. We are moist Bowser over here. Monster Clay indeed. Yes. This one's solid. Tucker over here has an armature, but this one is just solid clay, which I elected to not do again because that ended up being a huge pain in a lot of ways. But yeah, that's our boy. I'm gonna bring him back to safety. Carefully, Austin. Carefully. There we go. Ooh, that didn't feel good. At one point it was just bits and pieces, yeah. Yeah, that one was a bit of a learning experience. That one was mostly me teaching myself how to really sculpt accurately. He's held up pretty well, yeah, he's looking great. I mean, I'd played around with sculpting before him, but I'd never tried to do such a polished, finished piece at that point. So he is my prized possession for sculpting at the moment. But Tucker and a couple of his friends are going to be coming along after him. So there's plenty more sculpting to come. There we go. Let's get that zoom back in there. You think detailed, slender characters are more difficult than rounded ones? Yeah, there are a lot of things about this that are much more difficult than what I dealt with Bowser. He was mostly just cumbersome to work with. And there was a point where his proportions were all wrong, and like he was more, I would say, more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shaped than like the big round bubbly Bowser shape. And that had to be corrected, which involved just cutting him into pieces, basically restructuring him and starting again. This one I've been able to maintain, but like I said, I properly used an armature this time, so I'm learning as I go. I like self-teaching. There's no problem with learning things the right way through classes and even just online resources and stuff like that, but I like to self-teach. I feel like I absorb more figuring it out as I go. So most of this channel, when we do art and making and stuff like that, is me teaching myself stuff. Is that fly drinking what I think it's drinking? Yeah, lemonade, pimp. Obviously. You thought so too? Okay, good. Yeah, I'm glad we're on the same page there. That was clearly lemonade and not possibly anything else. Like, these spine bumps are a bit too bumpy, bit too defined here around the edges. Makes them look like spine, like dragon spines. I kind of want to smooth that out. I still want it to hug in close like that. I want it to feel like the skin is pulling tight onto those. But I feel like I just need a little more connective tissue in here in between. I need to smooth out this definition here because I just took it a little bit too far. Well, the other half of it is I do want it to look kind of inhuman, you know. Like, he's definitely a weird looking dude. Kind of like borderline monster movie. But he's supposed to be a normal normal human. Speaking of candy cane, can you believe there isn't a candy cane emoji? I cannot. Although at the same time I can, because emojis are a nightmare anyway. Like, not using them, but just the way, like, where they came from and how they're put together and everything. It's a wonder that there's any coherence whatsoever. It's Unicode. Unicode is a nightmare. Well, it wasn't even originally. It was just something in Japan, and then it got, like, ham-fisted into Unicode when Unicode became a thing. And then people in the United States found it, and they were like, this should have all the things I want in it. Because that's what we do with stuff. And so a lot more has been added. And then all of that has been subsequently crammed into Unicode. It's a total disaster. There's a great Tom Scott video on it. I got an email. That's my favorite Tom Scott quote. God, that looks even grosser. I love his little belly. Beep, beep. I am a little sad that we won't see the belly as much. And I am kind of going to need, like, a naked reference for him. It's not like he's going to be naked a lot, but he's not going to not be naked ever. So I'm wondering if I should do half clothing. Like, if I should do clothing just on one side of the body. Because there isn't really an asymmetry to his clothing. So, you know, maybe I should just clothe him down one side and leave the other side exposed. I did see a video about the mystery of this symbol. What symbol is that? What am I looking at there? You're gonna have to link that video to me. Turns out nobody knows what it means. What a satisfying conclusion. I think if I stretch between these two a little bit, it'll end up looking better. Oh, I should say for the retro gaming stream, it's feeling like we're probably gonna do either OG Mario Kart on the 64 or possibly the original Paper Mario instead of Thousand Year Door. So I'd be interested to hear opinions on that. There was a short period of time when a subgroup of a subgroup that eventually folded into Unicode existed. And they accepted symbol submissions from anyone for $50. So that's how you end up with character McCharactery face. You like doing Danger Mario runs of Paper Mario? What is a Danger Mario run? $5 HP? That seems like a bad idea. I've never even played the original Paper Mario. Both of those are set to be bonus streams, by the way. Like, they won't take away from the planned streams that week. They're in the schedule. I've brought the schedule on the Twitch page back to life. It is accurate now. So if you scroll forward to the week after Emily and I get back, you will see the cooking stream that Saturday night. And then 2 weeks after that, two Saturdays after that stream, you'll see the retro gaming stream. And the merch store is almost ready. I'm fixing prices, trying to make Squarespace's shipping system is kind of bullshit. So I'm trying to work shipping into the actual product price so that it's as fair as possible for everybody. and that's taking a fair bit of math. There will likely be small shipping charges for outside of the United States, and then inside the US is just going to be no shipping, so that I can account for Printful's costs. And that should be up soon. But as a bit of a teaser, I'm wearing one of my sample things right now. Behold. A headband. Complete with the new logo on the inside. And the pattern is made out of the bubbles. Or the UE bulbs. The new bulb. They're pretty tight. I like them. And it's super comfy. Like, it's legit. And there are also stickers. Fox Ox, Moose Goose, Bubble logo. And in one of my recent TikToks, you can see I'm wearing an embroidered hoodie, or sweatshirt. Yeah, there's some good stuff. There's some good stuff. Oh, and there's also, wait, hold on. With that same UE bulb pattern. Ooh. I just pulled the plug out of my monitor like some kind of dummy. There we go. It's a whole ass mouse pad. It's big. It's a big one. There's a littler one too, but this is a big one. So there's some cool shit to go up on the store. And I'm trying to make pricing simple if people want to do that. But that's kind of the whole idea of doing something like Printful, is it's more of a there if you want it kind of thing, you know. I don't have to be like cramming it down people's throats because I need to like recoup losses or some shit like that, you know. It's there if people want to support. I'll turn a small profit on all that stuff. And if you don't want it, that's totally coolio. Just makes me look more legit. Yes, it is massive. The smaller one is better, is smaller. Not better for my purposes. But much less cumbersome. That big one that I got, I'm going to, of course, I'm sure you're shocked to hear, I'm going to be modifying it and attaching it to my desk piece. That the one that I use over when I'm playing on the couch. What's Tucker's lore? Tucker is a wannabe criminal from a comic book concept that I've been originally working into a show when I was in television school, and now working into a comic book that I can just make myself with the help of my writing partner / girlfriend. So he's a wannabe cop who has a really not so much a girlfriend as a stalker victim that he sees as a girlfriend / former therapist who is involved in a rehabilitation program for former drug addicts that is involved in some less than, let's see without revealing too much. The organization is involved in some seedy business, and she's the only one involved that does not know about that. So we open in the first story with Tucker trying to convince her that she's in with a bad crowd. Do reveal? There's a little more that I'd like to share. There's a... Let's say he doesn't exactly have a superpower, but he does have... It's not a superhero book at all. He doesn't have superpowers, but he does have an inhuman ability, which I know is like a total bullshit way of phrasing that, but trust me. But you'll just have to stick around. You'll have to keep hanging out and find out. I've been saying little bits and pieces of who he is over the course of the streams as I've been talking about him. Pretty sure I said some things there that I've never said before. I don't think I've mentioned Opal is the name of the girl who we will be sculpting probably next. But these sculptures are designed to be my reference models for drawing the comic. Sculpting along. Follow along with your own brushes at home. Oh yeah, and one other thing about Tucker that I've definitely mentioned before is that his age is kind of Mobius. He claims he's around 38, but from appearances that seems unlikely. Granted, he's extremely unhealthy, so maybe he just takes really poor care of himself. Maybe it's Maybelline. Well, folks, on that note, I am probably going to call it for tonight. Vic, thank you for joining us, and thank you everybody for hanging out tonight. It's been a blast as always. I am going to be back on Friday with Emily for, like I said, some Breath of the Wild. I'm sure he gets asked how long he's been 38. I would bet he does, pimp. I would bet he does. Yeah, we'll be back on Friday with some Breath of the Wild. Probably not Master Mode, so that we can make some real progress. I might jump into my 100% playthrough that I've been working on, because I'm not very far into that. So that could be fun. You guys could pick some shrines you want me to do and all that good stuff. So, alright. So long, everybody. See you next time. And stay safe. Once again, I will avoid the ending screen to spare your ears this late in the evening. So, bye-bye, everybody.